So I got back from vacation yesterday and I lost weight. I didn't have a scale, I didn't track my food, and I didn't stick to a strict routine. I actually had a really good time. In this video, I'm unpacking 3 things I did to lose weight on vacation without obsessing over food or workouts. I'll also share my most recent weigh-in results and an overview of how much I've lost since I started the GLP-1 about 5 months ago. If you've ever felt like travel equals gaining weight, like I always did, then stick around. I'm going to start with the weigh-in because that's what I always like to hear about first. The last time I weighed myself was about 2 weeks ago, and I weighed in at, 193.2 pounds, which was a total loss of 16.8 pounds since I started a GLP-1. So my starting weight was 210. Then I went on vacation to Ireland for 2 weeks, got back last night, weighed myself this morning, and I weighed in at 191.4, which means I lost 1.8 pounds on vacation. And my total loss so far is 18.6 pounds. That has never happened to me before. I did take quite a long vacation earlier this year to Finland for about 3 weeks, and I maintained my weight, and I was thrilled about that because even maintaining my weight on vacation wasn't generally something that happened. But to lose weight, let me get into the 3 things that I really credit for me losing this weight on vacation. If you've been following me, you know I switched from semaglutide to Zepbound, which is Tirzepatide, recently, and my weight loss has been way more consistent since then. And quite by accident, this vacation coincided with an increase in my dose from 2.5 milligrams to 5 milligrams. So I took that first increased dose like a day or so before I left on vacation. So my appetite suppression was huge. Did that mean that I didn't have fun on vacation? It did not. Did it mean that I couldn't eat? No. It actually meant that I could have forgotten to eat, but because I was on vacation and there was so much yummy food around, I actually ate quite well. It's just that I would sit down to a meal and not necessarily be hungry, but when the meal came and I ate it, I really enjoyed it. And I was able to eat like a healthy amount for a meal without feeling overfull or sick or stuffed or anything. But I also was in that kind of sweet spot where I really easily stopped when I was satisfied. So that was really nice that I did not deprive myself of anything. I just know that I ate less of everything, and that felt good to me. I also had lots of treats. There's an ice cream shop in Ireland called Murphy's. It's so good. It is so good. So we got ice cream like at least 3 nights after dinner. I can't remember how many times. Several times. We got ice cream at night. I ordered dessert at least a few times. I had sticky toffee pudding. If you know, you know. I had a lemon tart. I can't even remember, but I didn't hold back. If I had room and wanted dessert, I would have it. Sometimes my husband and I would split it. And if I didn't have room, no big deal, I just didn't have it. But the point is that I didn't feel deprived because the Zepbound was doing its thing. I really credit the medication for putting me in a position where I could enjoy whatever I wanted to enjoy without overeating. So the first thing that I really believed helped me is the Zepbound. I'm sure it made a huge difference. You know how they say losing weight is like 80% food and 20% exercise? I think that 80% was me eating reasonable portions at mealtime and not really snacking because my appetite was so suppressed by the Zepbound. If you're new here, my name's Bobby. I'm a therapist and an artist, and I am documenting my GLP-1 weight loss journey after menopause here. This is a good time to say I am a therapist, but I'm not your therapist, and I'm not a medical professional, so I am just sharing my personal experience. None of this is meant to be medical advice or mental health advice. Always talk to your own healthcare providers when you're making decisions for yourself. The new carry-on personal item that I showed you in the video where I was packing for this trip, I'll link to it up there. I adored it. If you have any interest in me showing you how I packed it and how great it was, let me know in the comments because I'll totally make a video about it. I know this isn't like a travel channel or a luggage channel or anything, but I felt more organized on this trip than I ever have before. Not just when we were traveling, but even in the hotel, if I needed to grab something, I knew right where it was. On the plane too, it was like I knew just what I needed to grab out of the bag to have a more comfortable flight experience. And I am so glad that I splurged for that bag. So let me know if you want to know more about it. It is kind of the new love of my life. I always pack exercise clothes on vacation, and I always pack something like TRX bands or exercise bands or something to exercise. And if we're in a hotel that has a fitness center, I'll use that. The thing is, I don't always exercise on vacation. I have these great intentions, I have the right clothes and equipment, but it doesn't always happen. And what was different this time is that we were traveling with a couple that was very fitness minded. The husband had been a personal trainer and had owned gyms in the past. That's not what he does anymore professionally, but he's just very into the fitness lifestyle. So when he travels, he just automatically goes out and finds a gym near wherever he's staying to work out at. And since we were with them, we followed along with him. When we landed in Dublin, he had already found a YMCA that was literally a block and a half from our hotel. And we went there several times. It was like a 13 € drop-in fee. And my husband and I were like, why haven't we been doing this all along on vacation? It's brilliant. You actually meet some locals because you stand out. We have American accents and everyone there was Irish. We tended to have a little more chit chat than, at most other gyms. So it felt like a cultural activity as well as a health activity. The positive influence of that couple really can't be overstated. My husband and I, we have good intentions, but it just doesn't always happen. The wife of that couple even hit a PR on her squats while we were in Dublin. And like I was saying, food matters more for weight loss than exercise. But I find that exercising regularly helps me eat better. And also when I'm weight training, which was mostly what I did on this vacation for exercise, I feel like it really revs up my metabolism, like I'm burning more calories. It doesn't make me more hungry, but I feel like I get a burn, like I'm burning calories, and that feels really good. Even if it's not, it makes me feel like a badass, so I'm going to keep doing it. One of my long-term goals is to increase my muscle mass, and so the fact that I continued that on vacation was a real win for me. Like I said, it doesn't always happen. At home, I work out 4 times a week, and I ended up on vacation working out 3 times a week. The second thing I did was just keep up some exercise. At home, I can be very sedentary. I work from home, my job is sedentary, and I just love sitting around. So I have a walking pad and I try to get my steps in, but it doesn't always happen. Vacation is a whole different vibe. We're out and about, we're sightseeing, we're going places. I'm even working on a video about steps I got in a museum, something like Walk With Me, the museum edition. So my average steps on vacation were much higher than at home. I try to get 5,000 to 6,000 steps a day when I'm home. I usually reach 4 to 5 and, often 5 to 6. But that's me kind of like pushing myself to walk on my walking pad or go for a walk. On vacation, I actually did the math, and on this trip, I averaged 6,600 steps a day. Some days were crazy high, like 12,000. Well, that's crazy high for me. And some days were more like 4,000 or 5,000, like days that we were in the car more, driving to a new city. But overall, I averaged a good mile or so more of walking a day. And I felt it. I felt more active. I liked it. Yeah, it's a really good reminder for me that kind of movement and low intensity calorie burn can be so important when you're on a weight loss journey. So it's really motivating me to figure out a way to hit that kind of step mark at home. I know I can do it. It's not a lack of time or opportunity. It's more just like it's not a habit. So I'm feeling more motivation to figure out a way to make that happen, because I think that being just more generally active throughout the day, there was not a lot of sitting around unless we're in the car, was really helpful for just keeping my metabolism up. So those are the 3 things that I really think contributed to me being able to lose almost 2 pounds on a 2-week vacation. That's the rate of loss that I expect when I'm home and in my routine and doing all the things right. And it actually is motivating me to figure out a way to get more steps in my everyday life. Oh, you know what? I owe my water bottle an apology. If you saw my video where I was talking about I was bringing this water bottle to Ireland with me instead of my huge favorite Hydro Flask. I said that this one is insulated and this one isn't. This one's totally insulated. I'm so sorry. I diminished you. This was a lifesaver on my trip. Fit right into my carry-on. Carried it with me everywhere. It's nothing fancy. It's just, you drink out of it. There's no straw or any kind of system or anything. Makes it easier to wash when you're in a hotel, but just the perfect size for a trip. And I do like my sometimes I wet my plants design. I'll link to it if you want to learn more about it. It's for sale in my shop. Thinking about designing some other bottles. What do you want on a bottle? Leave a comment if there's a bottle that you want and it doesn't exist. Maybe I can make it exist for you. So anyway, I just caught a glimpse of this and wanted to set the record straight that it's insulated. So I'm home now. I'm going to get back into my routine. We just got back yesterday. Today is like a laundry day. I am working on kind of a bonus video called Walk With Me, the museum edition, because I just had the best time in the National Gallery, Ireland. So I wanted to share some of that with you. And I will be back next week with another weigh-in update. I know sometimes after vacation, it's a little hard for me to get back into my routine. We did go grocery shopping today, so I've got healthy things to eat. We haven't been to the gym yet. I mean, we just got back last night. But, I want to get back into my exercise routine. So I will let you know next week how that's going. I'm happy to be back. I missed you all, and I hope you're having a great week. I will talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.